In this video, we'll be taking a look at 3 NFL games happening on November 20th, 2022, and providing you with free team picks and total picks for each one of those games. So 2 picks for each game, 6 picks in total. Welcome back to Cash Out Sports. Let's dive right into it. Oh, and don't forget to subscribe and to click the bell icon to get notified as soon as these videos get released, so that you have more time to plan out your bets as we provide these videos on a daily basis. I can guarantee that you'll have all the important information that you'll need on these 3 NFL games after fully watching this video. One more thing before we start. If you would like to gain access to our best exclusive betting picks to take your sports betting journey to the next level, then check out our Patreon in the link down below, where we offer anywhere from 1 betting pick a day up to 10 betting picks a day and much more. Now let's get started. Detroit Lions versus New York Giants. The New York Giants play host to the Detroit Lions on Sunday in a crucial NFC showdown from MetLife Stadium. The Lions come in having won 2 in a row and are hoping to somehow continue to move closer to the potential playoff picture. For the Giants, there appears to be life toward the top of the NFC East standings, and with 5 wins in their last 6 games, they'll be looking to keep ground with the Eagles atop the division. The Lions have won 2 in a row and 3 of 4, dating back to 2014, but this Giants team is going to be far more difficult to take down than any of those previous ones were. Detroit is 5-0 against the spread in their last 5th of November games, and 5-2 against the spread in their last 7 games against a team with a winning record. The over is 8-3 in Detroit's last 11 games. New York is 5-1 against the spread in their last 6 games and 4-1 against the spread in their last 5 home games. The under is 34-15-2 in New York's last 51 home games. Detroit is 4-1 against the spread in these 2 teams' last 5 head-to-head meetings in New York. The Lions have been playing much better football recently. They have won back-to-back games in a close manner and will be looking for their 3rd against New York. The Lions have usually handled the Giants pretty well, winning 3 of the last 4 matchups against them. The Giants won last week but did not play great against the Texans at all. The game was much closer than it should have been, and if Davis Mills was even a half-decent quarterback, then the Texans probably would have won that game. The week before they lost to the Seahawks, they were outplayed badly in that one. I think the Lions are going to come in and score right away, and it will be up to Daniel Jones and the Giants to keep up. Saquon Barkley will most likely have a big day, but if the Lions can score early points like they are capable of doing, it can limit the Barkley factor. Detroit comes into this game with a little bit of momentum after winning their last 2 games. The Detroit defense has not played well for most of this season, but their offense has shown signs of brilliance. New York has a better record than just about anyone would have predicted at this point in the season, and has a defense that is only allowing 19 points per game. I think this is going to be a close game that could go either way, so I am going to take the points with Detroit. So the Detroit Lions to cover the spread as underdogs is our full game side pick. Give major kudos to Brian Daboll and his staff. The Giants' offense is 2nd in expected points added play in the second half of games this season, which shows a clear edge in making adjustments and finding ways to get the most out of the limited talent at their disposal. That being said, the first half has been a struggle, as evidenced by New York only scoring on average 7 points per first half this season, tied for the 2nd lowest output in the NFL. If this game goes according to my script, both teams will lean on the run game heavily and the first half will stay under the total. Weather could also be a factor here. As of midweek, the forecast calls for 15 to 20 miles per hour winds at MetLife Stadium this Sunday. Obviously that could change, but that stadium has been known for windy conditions this time of year, which always has a greater impact on scoring than rain or snow. The first half under has a little more value in my eyes because of the Giants starting slow, but overall I see this game being played in a phone booth, especially if Detroit has a lead in the second half. Under the projected total is our full game total pick. Cleveland Browns versus Buffalo Bills. The Buffalo Bills will be playing the Cleveland Browns on Sunday at Ford Field in Detroit. This game has been moved to Detroit because of the blizzard that was dropped on Buffalo this weekend. The Browns are 16-34-2 against the spread in their last 52 games in November, and 4-9 against the spread in their last 13 versus AFC. The Bills are 5-2-1 against the spread in their last 8 home games, and 10-2-2 against the spread versus a team with a losing record. The over is 6-2-1 in Browns' last 9 games overall. The under is 6-1 in Bills' last 7 games overall. The Browns are 1-4-1 against the spread in their last 6 meetings. The favorite is 5-0-1 against the spread in their last 6 meetings. Pardon the pun, but the NFL has catered to all the snowflakes who clamored to move this game out of Highmark Stadium and Orchard Park to the warm, safe confines of a domed Ford Field in Detroit. Forget about the fact that football is played in inclement weather all the time and that recent reports had the snow tailing off on Saturday. The league opted to move the game, which, obviously, changes the way we have to look at it from a betting standpoint. The line has now moved down and there are no longer any concerns regarding precipitation or high winds. As we saw in Week 10, the Bills are not changing their game plan in the wake of Josh Allen's UCL injury, and if they want to throw the ball 40 times a game, they will. We should still see a fair amount of Devin Singletary, given the fact that the Browns' defense ranks dead last in DVOA against the run and is allowing an average of 131.1 rushing yards per game with 15 rushing touchdowns given up on the season. But expect the regular dose of aerial attacks from Allen to Stephon Diggs, Gabe Davis, and his assortment of pass-catching weapons. The Bills will need to keep their foot on the gas to maintain control of this game. On the other side, expect the Browns to run hard with Nick Chubb. On the surface, it doesn't seem like the right move as the Bills rank 6th in DVOA against the run. But Buffalo has allowed 176.3 rushing yards per game over their last 3. This happened to them last year as well, and plenty of teams took advantage. The Browns will do the same, as they do not want this game to turn into a shootout. Both teams are 4-5 against the spread this year, with the Bills going 0-3 during their recent stretch. If the Browns are going to keep this game close, they are going to need to control the clock and the pace of this game. Long, methodical drives led by Chubb should be the answer. The Buffalo Bills are the better team here and should be favored, but this is a lot of points. Josh Allen has been a little careless with the ball lately, and he's still dealing with a banged-up throwing arm. Also, while the record isn't pretty, the Cleveland Browns are still one of the more talented rosters in the league. The Browns have a lot of quality players, and it makes them a tricky matchup most weeks, despite the losses. A lot of points, so the Cleveland Browns to cover the spread as underdogs is our full game side pick. We have two teams who are very capable of running the football and whose run defense has been lacking in recent weeks. The Browns have allowed more than 130 rushing yards per game with 15 rushing touchdowns given up on the season. The Bills' run defense, just as it did last season, is starting to wear down, and while they still rank fairly high up overall, they have coughed up an average of 176.3 rushing yards per game over their last 3, which is the 5th highest in the league. Two teams who run the football effectively usually means the clock continues to run and fewer plays, but things have changed in recent days. With the game being moved indoors to Ford Field in Detroit, the total has jumped 6 points with the expectation that the Bills will be able to now resume their usual game plan of throwing the ball 4-50 times and simply use the ground game as a complement. While the Browns are allowing an average of only 218 passing yards per game, we need to understand that total is low because everyone simply runs on them. They rank only 26th in DVOA against the pass and have allowed 13 touchdowns through the air. Eliminating the weather factor now tilts this game away from the hard-nosed, run-heavy game we were expecting, and with the Bills having carte blanche to do whatever they want, the score is likely to climb. Over the projected total is our full game total pick. Las Vegas Raiders versus Denver Broncos. Las Vegas and Denver will both be looking to turn their seasons around when they square off on Sunday afternoon. The Raiders come into this game on a 3-game skid following a 25-20 loss to Indianapolis last week. Denver has lost 5 of its last 6 games, including a 17-10 setback at Tennessee its last time out. The Raiders are 1-5 against the spread in their last 6 road games and 3-7 against the spread in their last 10 games overall. The Broncos are 4-13 against the spread in their last 17 versus AFC and 4-9 against the spread in their last 13 games overall. The over is 5-2 in Raiders' last 7 games overall. The under is 45 to 21-1 in Broncos' last 67 games overall. The Raiders are 9-1 against the spread in their last 10 meetings. The home team is 4-1 against the spread in their last 5 meetings. Denver needs to win this game more than Vegas, at least to save some face after signing Wilson to a historic 5-year contract this offseason. It won't be pretty if the Broncos fall to the 2-7 Raiders in Denver. Las Vegas is 1-7 against the spread versus a team with a losing record and 0-4 against the spread in its last 4 games after accumulating less than 90 rushing yards in its previous game. The home team is 4-1 against the spread in their last 5 meetings, a trend that should continue to play out on Sunday. Carr has been solid and Wilson has not, but there won't be a better opportunity than this week for Wilson against a bottom 5 pass defense. Beating the same team twice in one season is challenging as well. well. I'm not running to the window to back the Denver Broncos in any shape or form, a team that can't do anything offensively. However, the Las Vegas Raiders can't hold a lead. Their defense is poor, and they just lost to a Colts squad that has a coaching staff that's never coached before. The Raiders are probably the biggest disappointment in the league right now, so the Denver Broncos to win and cover the spread as favorites is our full game side pick. The under is 4-0 in the Broncos' last 4 home games and 5-0 in their last 5 games following an Ats loss. Josh Jacobs had success against Denver in the first matchup, but he's been unable to get going lately, and with the passing game in for a tough challenge, I don't envision Vegas moving the ball too much. The Broncos, on the other hand, are fortunate to turn their red zone opportunities into any points at all. There might not be anything of significance on the line between these teams, but I'm expecting a tense, hard-fought game with a low score in Denver, under the projected total as our full game total pick. That's all for now, so if you have any other games you would like reviewed, then leave a comment down below with the game you would like analyzed. Subscribe to our channel, leave a like on this video, and we'll get to it as soon as we possibly can. We would also love to hear your opinion on the picks presented to you in this video, whether you agree or disagree with them, so leave a comment down below and do let us know.